Welcome back to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba, your host. Thanks for joining us. All right, we've got Keith Hamilton, Mahe Medical USA, here on the show with us. Keith, welcome to the show.
Hi, Michael. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad you're here. All right, Keith, you've got an interesting approach with what you're doing with Mahe Medical USA versus Mahe Medical Germany. Give us some background on your leadership skills, what you're doing with the company, and then tell us all about Mahe Medical versus the Mahe Medical USA versus Mahe Medical Germany.
Sure, thanks. So my background is in manufacturing, and for more than a couple decades, we've been traveling all over the U.S. and the world making products primarily in the medical device industry. And a couple years ago, we noticed that prices for commodity type of items in the medical industry weren't going down as much as we saw manufacturers getting pinched to reduce their prices. So in other words, it's a lot easier to make some of these medical devices like bone screws, drills, Kirschner wires that are used to set bones or move bones around during surgery. The manufacturers, their prices continue to go down, but the end customers, they do not. So we took a look at it from the manufacturing side and determined that there are some true commodities in the market, like these drill bits and things, and they should be a lot cheaper. So going at it from that direction, we decided to bring commodity-type products to the market and do it from a company, Mahe Medical Germany, that does business all over the world except for the U.S., and bring their brand here under the brand name Mahe Medical USA.
How do you make that get to the end customer? How do you make that price reduction follow through versus somebody in the middle picking up the spread?
Well, and that's kind of the thing that's going on in the medical industry is there's so many people in the middle. So we decided to do a manufacturing direct model. And with that manufacturing direct model, basically we're taking the products from Mahe Medical Germany, transferring them directly to a warehouse in the U.S., storing them here, taking out the middleman, and selling them to the end customer, but not with a huge rep network like most people are using today. What we decided to do is use some e-commerce platforms, Amazon being the largest in the world, so we could efficiently get the products into people's hands and sell them as a commodity as they should be sold.
Okay, when you say that, you're not talking about the person who's going in to get their knee operated on, are you?
No, we're talking about hospitals, ambulatory surgery centers, doctors, things of that nature. Ultimately, the price does go down for the end consumer, the consumer actually on the table having the surgery, because we lower the price to the doctor in the hospital.
How big of a jump did we have?
As far as?
Cost reduction.
It can be, in some cases, 50%. It can be 10 to 20%. It really determines the item and how commoditized it already is.
20 to 50% is a big move on any company's bottom line.
Yes.
Wow. So how long have you been doing this here in the U.S.?
We started in 2016 investigating the market and trying to determine the best way to go at it. And then about a year ago, we decided to partner up with Amazon as our distribution method to get it into the marketplace. So that's been going about a year now, and we're just getting the word out now, letting everybody know who we are, that it's the same product, essentially same or better quality that they're getting from, say, a rep in the OR. It's just they can now buy it from Amazon and get the same quality product at a lot better pricing.
I would think you've gotten a big bump because of using Amazon's distribution methods.
Absolutely. Well, largest e-commerce platform in the world. It's hard to go wrong with them. And what we found so interesting about that is a lot of the big players don't want to be on Amazon. They don't want to turn these products into commodities because it just drives the price down. So it takes a market disruptor like Mahe Medical USA to kind of jump in there, only focusing on commodity programs. We don't develop total knee implants, total shoulder implants. We only work on the commodity items. We manufacture over 10,000 different SKUs of items now. So the way we looked at the market is instead of offering everything, let's offer just the ones that are non-physician preference, meaning the doctor really just doesn't care, and price is what's going to separate us.
What have you seen as far as expansion in your company because of this process that you've implemented and is obviously successful? I mean, are you going to Latin America? You said they were already the largest distributor in Europe, right?
Well, I wouldn't say the largest distributor in Europe. They are in Europe. They have a very good name in Europe, Russia, the Middle East, They do have sites in South America. We are strictly focused on the U.S. The U.S. is the largest market for orthopedic devices in the world. 51% of all orthopedic items manufactured in the world will be consumed in the U.S.
What do you think the time to saturation is?
That is really hard to tell. I think there's a lot of runway here.
Okay.
Just because there's just a number of products. If you just look at a OR order sheet or schedule sheet, there's drill bits ranging in all different sizes. I believe our drill bit catalog is probably 90 pages. So it's it's a pretty expansive market to go after. And all of these things can be commoditized. If they can be on the current equipment they're making them on now, they're extremely efficient. They can really control quality and cost. So really the opportunity is limitless at this point.
This just obviously affects the bottom line for Mahe Medical USA. Are you going to do anything different with the formation of the company? Are you going to go public? Are you going to allow outside investors to come in, or at this point is it still going to be a tightly held company?
At this point, it's still going to be tightly held. The owners of Mahe Medical Germany, it's privately held by two brothers, and we're going to keep it privately held in the U.S. here for the foreseeable future. And it really depends on kind of the pace of our growth, what we see happening in the market, how quickly other companies, our competitors, try to commoditize the products along with us. So I think that's kind of a to be determined at this point.
It's a disruptive process that you brought into a kind of a monopoly, if you will, industry. Are you seeing other avenues where you're going to take this disruptive process and move it to further expand in different areas?
We'll stay within the medical device community for sure as we do this, because we just believe the opportunity is so great there. And there's, like I said, there's just so much runway and so many avenues that we can get into. I don't see us branching into other industries with this type of disruptive technology now. And frankly, there's a lot of industries that have already done this. With the power of e-commerce websites like Amazon, there's a lot of products that are getting commoditized every day. And we'll probably just let those folks in their industry do their thing, and we're going to continue to focus on just the medical piece of this.
All right. There's a lot of commoditized products in the medical field. I just get the feeling, and you set me straight, but that you're just going to saturate the market with one silo and then continue to move the bar as you go forward with other products.
That's correct. Yeah, I mean, you could, if you look at bandages or gowns or gloves, those are all highly commoditized items. I'm sure when they first started out, they weren't, and one surgeon would have a preference over gloves or a gown versus another surgeon. Just doesn't seem to be the case anymore. But yeah, in orthopedics, there's just so many products we can work on. If you look at, we have a universal extraction system for spine that take out any screw out of someone's back, any pedicle screw. And so entire kits we can commoditize now, just because of not only the way that they're made, but the way that other people make their products. So,
Keith,
yeah, we will slowly go from, if it's a single-op drill bit, then, yeah, we're also offering kits to the market, whether it be a fragment kit or a spine kit or an extraction kit.
Keith, let's save some of that for the next segment that you're on, all right?
Sounds good.
All right, we'll be right back with Keith Hamilton, CEO of Mahe Medical USA. We'll be right back on the other side of this break with Keith Hamilton. Welcome back to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba, your host. Thanks for being here. All right, we've got Keith Hamilton, CEO of Mahe Medical, mahemedical.com on the show with us. Keith, when we left off, you were just getting into some of the tools that you're bringing to market that are going to be anywhere from a 20 to a 50% cost reduction to the people that need to use them to help other people. You were talking about a machine used for the spine and screws for the spine, right?
Yes, there are kits for the spine that allow surgeons to take any screw out of the spine. So as you can imagine, when you get spine surgery and something needs to come out of your back for whatever reason, a lot of times they don't know what's in there. So having a universal kit system that'll take out any hardware is pretty useful to the doctor and reduces surgery time. And our ability to provide that to physicians on the Amazon B2B platform is huge, because they can just go on and order it instead of a rep coming into the room and dealing with the rep's markup and and everything that goes along with that.
So this is a universal, just flat line for all the reps selling all of the basic commoditized tools and kits across the board.
Yeah.
Are they going to start working for you now?
Yeah, probably not. I mean, our model, I guess, when we started the company, there was a way that we could have, I guess, raised a lot of money and put a rep in every state, and it just takes, as you can imagine, millions and millions of dollars to start it that way. And that's why using Amazon is perfect for us, because we don't need a rep in every hospital, especially for these commodity items. That the surgeons just need a high quality item, and they need it delivered to them. And in our case, we're going to deliver it in 2 days or less, and it's going to be prime, just like you would if you were ordering from Amazon at your house, and free return. So it's all the benefits that everybody knows Amazon for. We're just bringing it to the healthcare market and selling it direct business to business.
All right, you're right in the middle of, if not the leading edge of disruptive processes for your products in your industry sector, which is notoriously, every time I've dealt with the medical industry, it's just like, oh my God, the dinosaur, here comes Tyrex coming in. How do you see this changing and the evolution of your industry sector as you participate with it and get deeper into it with what you're doing?
Yes. Here's how I see it changing. There's plenty of articles out there where Amazon has made it known that they are going to transform the medical industry. It's just the next thing they're going after, just as they've transformed, videos or, buying Whole Foods or, whatever the case is, clothing. And they're going to go after this market really hard, and I think they should, because you don't need that much support when it comes to a commodity product like a drill bit or a screw. You don't need a rep to sell you that. It's a pretty simple product to make. It's highly regulated, and with the new equipment it's made on, it's extremely easy to make it quickly and accurately the first time out of the gate. So what I think is going to happen is you're going to see more and more products getting up on Amazon that are these commodity items, and hospitals turning to them as a solution to purchase products.
Do you see this moving into other areas? I was on the phone actually talking to somebody right prior to this, and they're talking about genomes, DNA, blockchain, and things of that nature. It seems to me that we're just going to be able to commoditize the entire medical industry when it comes to treatment, and that should help bring down the cost. Or do you see that that middleman is never going to go away?
Oh, I absolutely think it'll bring down the cost, and I think the middleman does go away. I mean, we've already proven it in our model here at My Medical USA. From our standpoint, we're seeing customers really enjoying the benefits of buying on Amazon, and then they're asking us, what else can we buy there? What is the next product that you guys will put up there so that so you can supply that product at a lesser price and there's more competition in the market. And as technologies to make these items get better and faster, the prices will just go down further as soon as we get to a level where the rep isn't needed anymore, because it is just a commodity play. Once that happens, and who knows what'll be up there. We're meeting with some CEOs of some very large medical companies last week, and they were laughing because they said, do you think there's even a possibility we'll be buying total joint implants from Amazon at some time? And I guess, yeah, I could see that. That's not something My Medical does right now, but yeah, as those items become commoditized, absolutely. And then, what's happening in the healthcare industry is they're only giving hospitals and doctors one price to do any particular surgery, kind of this bottom line price, and it's really cutting into the bottom line of all these providers because it's not limitless. The insurance companies and other reimbursement organizations are saying you only get X amount to do this particular procedure, so you have to control your costs. And when they can come to us and look on Amazon, say, okay, I can get everything for that procedure at 20, maybe even 30, sometimes 50% less, it allows them to take more advantage in the market. And I guess what you have to ask yourself is, seeing what Amazon's doing in the medical market, are you going to be, Blockbuster, or are you going to be Netflix? Are you in front of this train or not?
Exactly. I think that you're absolutely on the right track with all of this. How is the industry? I mean, they're either going to adapt or they're going to get left behind and just wave at them on the train as you go by. Any pushback from any of the industry sectors saying, "Oh no, that's not fair"?
No, we haven't had that specifically. There will be. I mean, we're bracing for it. We know there's going to be a lot of pushback. They really need these legacy products to, the capital that comes from them to hold up their organizations, and that the organizations are massive. When we first went to Amazon, we asked, why are we the only guys you're talking to? And it's because they said nobody else will. Because as soon as they stick it on Amazon, all the reps that they have in the field are not needed anymore. And they have to support that organization. They have to have that capital coming in, or they don't need their reps, because then their reps are just relegated to very highly specialized surgeries, and it drops their bottom line. They're just not going to allow that. So, yeah, there will be pushback. I think we'll see more of them start to use e-commerce platforms like Amazon. What's interesting to us is we seem to be the only guys up there for a Class 2 device, which is, in kind of layman's terms, is a device that you can leave in the body, like an implant that you can leave for a period of time. Well, we're the only one authorized to sell on Amazon for that, which we found very strange, but I guess if you think of it from a business standpoint, it's not, right? Why would you, as a company, put your products up there, say they're now commoditized, and know that you're going to get in a bidding war or price war on an e-commerce platform? You just wouldn't allow that to happen until you're forced to.
I think that you've opened the door, kicked open the door for every industry in the medical business to start doing exactly what you're going to do. I mean, it just seems to me that it's a natural flow of things. Just the only thing I'm sad about is that it's such a private, tightly held company that you can't get in and buy some of this.
Yes, well, I do agree with you. I think it is going to change. It's going to change the face of medical. Sadly, we're not the first people to think about commoditizing an industry. So on the good side, there's a lot of people who've done it before us, and we know the mistakes they've made, and we're trying not to repeat those. But also, it's kind of, we're really trailblazing in the medical industry, and trying to explain to hospitals and doctors that some of these items, they're just not preference items for the physician. They just don't really care about who makes these, because they're so, I shouldn't say easy to make, but they are easy to make, and it's a non-physician preference item. It's the physician uses a drill bit because he needs a 2.7 millimeter hole, and then it goes in the garbage. So why would you pay a premium for it?
I agree. All right, we're going to have to close the segment here, but before we go, any places, events that you're going to be in the future where the audience can reach out to you?
We will be at Becker Spine coming up next month. At the Spine Show, we'll be showing off our new spine extraction system, as well as talking about some of the other commodity items we have. And then we'll be releasing on our website other events we're going to. Obviously, we're always at the big events like AAOS and areas like that. But, the next place to catch us in person is going to be in Chicago at the Becker Spine Review.
Keith, thanks for being a guest on the show. Great work on this.
Thank you, Michael. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Keith Hamilton, CEO, Mahe Medical USA, MAHEMEDICAL.com. Segment brought to you by CEO Money. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back on the other side of this break with David Williams of PageTrader.com.